Hello and welcome. Good morning. You're watching Market Cafe with me, Snehi Shah, and with me is Shreyansi Singh. And well, you're watching ET Now. Thanks so much for starting your morning with us. This is a show where we'll take you through all the important stories that we've been tracking for you in India as well as globally over the course of the weekend, as well as last night where we were fast asleep. And in the second half of the show, we'll also tell you about all the stocks that are going to be a buzz in today's trading session, could be potential buzzers, and also what brokerages are flagging off on their radar this Monday morning. So with that, let's kickstart the show then. And Shreyansi, take us through what the US and Europe handover look like. Decent moves coming in from the US, but Dow is stealing all the spotlight, isn't it?
Absolutely. That sums it up because, when you look at futures, so what you're looking at is that there's not much of an action coming in for futures. S&P 500, nasdaq, as well as Dow, all of them are near the flat line when you look at futures. But when you look at the 30 stock Dow, that is coming off its 8th straight winning session on Friday, and that was, of course, as its best week of the year as well. And the S&P 500 and the nasdaq, then when you look at them on a weekly basis, what you're looking at is a third consecutive winning week coming in for both the indices. When you look at S&P 500, 1.8% gains coming in for S&P 500, and then when you look at nasdaq as well, over a percent of a gain coming in on a weekly basis. Now, investors will be looking for insights into the Federal Reserve's monetary policy moving forward with April's Consumer Price Index report due out on Wednesday. Traders also hope that a return to rate hikes is largely off the table for the Fed, despite a slew of hotter than expected inflation prints in recent months. And April's CPI print will also serve as a key gauge of whether or not equities can remain on a stable footing after a stronger than expected first quarter earnings season as well. Now, speaking of the earnings season then, results so far have helped stocks remain resilient despite the inflation overhang. 92% of S&P 500 companies have reported as of Friday, with nearly 80% of firms surpassing Wall Street forecasts as well. Now, when you look at the action coming in on the European markets front, the Pan-European Stock 600 index was up about 0.8% thereabout by the close, and mining stocks and utilities led gains were up 1.3% and 1.5% respectively. But all major bourses were in the green, with the Stock 600 as well as Germany's DAX, France's CAC as well, and UK's FTSE notching fresh record highs. So that's the kind of moves that you're seeing for Europe as well. But that being said, what are you looking at in terms of oil? Because it's been quite the interesting week last week, right?
It has been, but well, both of these oil indices that we track, WTI as well as Brent crude, were on course for a losing week last week. And let's also understand what's happening with oil now. Oil prices have fallen by nearly $1 a barrel on Friday, as comments from US central bank officials indicated higher for longer interest rates, which could hinder demand from the world's largest crude consumers. Now, on the spot basis, when you take a look at where both of these indices have closed, WTI is just shy of $78 per barrel, and Brent crude is just above 82. It's somewhere between $82.5 a barrel as we speak. Now, both benchmarks were headed for weekly losses last week. Oil prices were also pressured as the US dollar strengthened after Dallas Federal Reserve President Lori Logan said it was unclear whether the policy was tight enough to bring down inflation to the US central bank's 2% goal. Remember, a strong dollar makes greenback denominated commodities more expensive for buyers using other currencies, and higher for longer US interest rates could also dampen demand. We also had comments coming in from Raphael Bolstick, and not very positive when it comes to inflation as well, because he said that he hoped by so far the restrictive policy would have helped inflation come lower for the US, but that has not happened yet. So all eyes will be on what the Fed commentary is going ahead. This week also we have a whole host of Fed presidents and FOMC members who will be giving their respective commentary on inflation as well. Now, higher interest rates typically slow economic activity and weaken oil demand. Prices were also under pressure from rising US fuel inventories approaching the typically robust summer driving season. So lots of inputs coming in, lots of factors that are at play when it comes to oil, but well, yes, a lot is happening with oil as well, Shreyansi.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.